Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Real Lil, and I am back again. Every day, there are news going on in the world of sports and pop culture, and I get my unique takes on them. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the latest updates on these hottest news and see the full episodes of my radio shows, The Real Lil Show, college and podcast version, In the Huddle, and What's Your Grind Like podcast. Daily updates, breaking news on my Instagram page, weekly blogs. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy the content. Alright, y'all, this is your boy Real Lil, and I am back again to do another video. It's been a minute since I did a video. I've been posting clips very frequently of my radio shows, but I haven't did a small little video, you know what I'm saying, to myself, and I'm gonna do it right now since I'm on vacation. I'm on a week vacation, so I said, you know what? NBA season is back. Let me do another video for the first time in a minute. Now, before I get into anything, you know, if you're watching this content, I need y'all to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and hit the bell button and share this video with a sports fan that know a sports fan, that want to know a sports fan, that's already a sports fan, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely do that so we can definitely get this page up there, because I definitely have a lot of good ideas, a lot of good content that I'm going to be pushing. Obviously, I'm a sports guy. I'm a sports fanatic. I'm a sports genius. You know, I don't know. You name it. I just feel like, you know, when it comes to this time of the year, in late October, you got baseball, you got football, and then you got hockey. I can't forget about the hockey fans out there. And then you got basketball that's finally coming back, even though it feels like it never left, because when the season was over, you had free agency, and that was like the big thing. It was bigger than the playoffs and the finals of free agency. And then you had, you know, all the stuff going on with the NBA in China. If you haven't saw my last video, I definitely talked about the ongoing issues. Finally, it took me a minute, but I finally discussed it because I wanted to get everything straight. Definitely check that video out. I had a lot to say about what LeBron James had to say and that sort. But in this video, what I'm going to do for y'all fans, for y'all NBA fans, is I'm going to give you my 1 through 8 seedings from east to west, predictions going into the season, and what I predict. You know, it's early, but it's never too early for no predictions. That's why it's called a prediction, because if it happened, it wouldn't be called a prediction. It would be a contradiction. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you my benediction. My 1 through 8, east to west. All right, this is how I think the NBA seedings will play out at the end of the year. And I'm also going to give you my, you know, awards predictions, who I think is going to win Rookie of the Year, all that sort. But anyway, let's start off with the East, right? At number 1, I have the 76ers having the number 1 seed in the East. I just think that, you know, they lost a lot of pieces. You know, they lost a few pieces, but they brought some back. You subtract J.J. Redick, obviously, who's a very good three-point shooter, that brings their scoring. You know, obviously, you're going to miss the Jimmy Butler, because the only thing I would say is, the only concern that I have for the 76ers is who's going to be their closer, right? Jimmy Butler was a closer. When that young team that was, you know, that was young with Embiid and Simmons last year, they didn't know how to take the extra step, right? And Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, you saw him. He was already there. He knew how to show these guys how to win, and he did that. And he almost got the job done in that Game 7. A lot of people forget when Kawhi Leonard hit that shot when it was bouncing on the rim. You know, Jimmy Butler scored that last bucket. Jimmy Butler was a closer and showed them young guys how to win. So it's a pity that they wasn't able to bring Jimmy Butler back via free agency. But you do add Al Horford to the equation. Al Horford is a very good center, a center with a strong IQ, a center that's a team-oriented player, a center that can pass, a center that can shoot threes. And you also add Josh Richardson, you know him. You extend Tobias Harris. Ben Simmons, you know, he's going to take another step. He finally hit a three-pointer. Hopefully, he continues to work on that shot. Embiid is your guy as well. That's your number 1 player, in my opinion. But the only thing I would say is, where are they going to get their clutch shots from? Because I don't consider Embiid to be a knockdown three-point shooter. He can hit threes, but he's not Steph Curry. Ben Simmons, he hit 1 3. Let's not get carried away. You know what I'm saying? So who's going to be that guy? We have yet to see. But I do think defensively, that team will be amongst the league best, one of the league's best. And that's going to be enough for them to get the number 1 seed. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, at number 2, I'm going to go with the freak. All right, I'm going with the freak, Giannis. All right, I do believe that this team was number 1 last year. They was number 1 seeded. I don't see anything from this team that can make me say to myself, this team ain't gonna be better than they were last year. No, nothing shows me that. All right, yes, they lost Brogdon, but Brogdon was out for most of the year last year anyway. It was still the number 1 seed. I'm gonna go with the freak. You know, the freak is one of my MVP candidates as well. Chris Middleton obviously is gonna give you buckets. They got like I said, they got length. They got big, tall, 6-foot guys that can shoot threes. I mean, that's very scary. You know what I'm saying? So that's a 10 Towers Splash Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Number 2. At number 3, you gotta pace yourself, my brother. You gotta pace yourself. I'm gonna go with the Pacers at number 3. Victor Oladipo is gonna be back. You already know he took a big step the year before last year before he got injured, obviously. And the Pacers team was still able to make the playoffs. Like I said, they didn't have that star. They played together as a team. That's why they was able to go far, because they played together as a team. They got a good head coach. They got a good system. And I believe Victor Oladipo, all right, is going to be over there, and he's going to be able to propel that team to number 3 seed. Oladipo, I'm going to go with the Pacers at number 3, all right? Forgive me if that was a little weak. Oladipo, I got parents sleeping. You know what I'm saying? My family out there upstairs is sleeping, so I don't want to wake them up, because I damn sure don't want to be waked up at 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's actually when I'm shooting this live right now. So, I want to get that energy, but I gotta maintain the audio levels. At number 4, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go with the Celtics. You lose Kyrie Irving. Obviously, we already know about the debacle with Kyrie Irving. But you add Kemba, and even though Kemba Walker is not a better player than Kyrie Irving, he's a team player. And team players fit well in Brad Stevens' system. The stars, I noticed in Brad Stevens' system, the stars don't necessarily gel into that system as they should, but more like, role players do. And he's just a team-oriented player. Enes Kanter, obviously, is not better than Al Horford, but he balls. The brother was fasting during Ramadan in the playoffs, all right? The brother had no food in his system, and he was hawking rebounds with one arm. Remember, the brother was hurt, and he was fasting, and he still, was very pivotal in the Trailblazers moving on in the playoffs until they eventually lost to the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So let's not underestimate Enes Kanter, what he can do as far as rebounds and just being hungry and, in that sort. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Tatum to take a big step, a big leap this year. Sort of to like what his rookie year was last year. Kyrie Irving there, ISO don't go well together. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Kyrie Irving being there limited Jason Tatum. Kyrie Irving is not there no more. I expect Jason Tatum to go up, and I expect Jaylen Brown to go up as well. Jaylen Brown needs to play better offensively than he did last year, and I predict that these two guys, Tatum and Brown, will. And that team will be number 4 seed. Hello, number 5, right? I'm going to go with Brooklyn. I'm going to go with the Nets, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Brooklyn. Y'all already know. I'm from Brooklyn. This is not no bias. Even though the Nets is my second favorite team, you can say. My favorite team is that team you see right there. That New York Knicks team, you know what I'm saying? That sucks. You know what I'm saying? And, let me not talk about the Knicks, because then I'm going to go way off track, and I want to come back. Let me not do that. At number 5, I'm going to go with Brooklyn. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is a seed above where they were last year in the playoffs. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was. They was a 6 seed last year in the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is so. And this is a seed up. And that's because I think Kyrie Irving makes them a seed up, a seed better, or, a seed or 2 better. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving, a lot of people is saying, they saw what he did last year with the Celtics on his own. The brother had a lot of issues, family issues, losing the death of his grandmother or grandfather, and, basically a grandparent. And, a lot of people really overlook the fact that the Celtics team was like 6 to 8 deep where they had a bunch of guys that can actually start on most NBA teams, and they had to gel together, and it was just so many parts. And a lot of people think that you bring all these good names and you put it together and it's supposed to gel. You know what I'm saying? It don't always work like that. Sometimes the best team is a team that play together. That's why the Nets was able to make the playoffs last year. Not because they had the most staggering names that popped out. No, it's because they played together. That's why the Pacers without Victor Oladipo was able to make the playoffs, because they played well together. The Nets, Kyrie Irving is a better player than Russell. He is a better player than Kemba. I do believe that he will have a season to remember. I think that, I'm going to put my faith, and I may be wrong here, but I'm going to put my faith in Kyrie Irving to have his best season yet, right? This Nets team could go a lot of different ways, because this team was used to playing, moving the ball and being a team, a team that can move the ball together. And Kyrie Irving, obviously, is going to have his moments where he's going to be on an island by himself dribbling the ball. You know what I'm saying? But I believe when you want to be somewhere, I know from experience, when you want to be somewhere, you're gonna have more patience to make it work. Now, sometimes when you want to be somewhere, you end up being somewhere, you be like, oh, hell no. I don't know why the hell I want to be here. But you willing to give it a decent shot. And I do believe Kyrie Irving wanted to come back home, a bridge away from home. They got new uniforms, a new stadium. It's just a new era in Brooklyn. And I believe that era starts now. And I believe they're going to be the number 5 seed. And they're going to be a fairly decent team in the Eastern Conference. At number 6, I'm going to go with the Raptors. The loss of Kawhi is very big. And though I believe that the Raptors can still make the playoffs, obviously when you lose Kawhi, the championship hopes for me is not there. But I do still have them making the playoffs, simply because, you still got Pascal Siakam that just got I believe a 5-year extension. You know what I'm saying? He's a very talented player. He took a big leap, most improved player in the league last year. I like that team. You still got Fred VanVleet that can get buckets. Kyle Lowry was an all-star before Kawhi got there, and even though sometimes the brother can go Alaska cold offensively, I still love what he does on the defensive end. And Marc Gasol, playoff experience, can shoot threes here and there. I still like this Raptors. I remember the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard was on vacation for half of the regular season, and the Raptors was still able to win a lot of games without him. You still got Serge Ibaka, that's a beast on the paint that can get rebounds. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Raptors at number 6. At number 7, I got to go with the Magic, right? I want to see how Markelle Fultz looked this year. In the preseason, I seen a little bit of flashes in the preseason for Markelle Fultz, when I'm like, all right, this is the guy that I was expecting to come out the draft. So will he carry that into the regular season and improve? I think so. They took I had them basically where they were last year. Last year they were the 7th seed in the East, so I was right. The Nets were the 6th seed. The Magic was the 7th seed. I had them staying where they were last year. I'm gonna go with the Magic. At number 8, I'm gonna go with Miami. Jimmy Butler's over there. Obviously, he'll show those guys how to win, right? He'll show those guys how to win. They'll be able to get that last seed at number 8. Now we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wild Wild West. Trying my hardest, doing my best, stay alive. That's what it's going to be. The Wild Wild West in the NBA. I can contest, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no mess. Just stress. Oh my gosh, what's next? Ladies and gentlemen, the Western Conference Finals is going to be a Wild Wild West. And if based on my seedings as well, it's going to show that, especially fighting for that 8th spot. Because I believe there's going to be a lot of quality, decent teams in the Western Conference that are going to miss the playoffs. The only team that I really think that is really a sure lot not to make the playoffs is the Timberwolves and probably the Suns. You know what I'm saying? But other than those 2 teams, a lot of teams in the West can make the playoffs, and they're not going to be able to, because it's the Wild Wild West. Trying my hardest, doing my... All right, let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, I got to go with The Joker. All right, I know you've seen that movie. Good movie, by the way. I enjoyed that movie. You know what I'm saying? I might do a review on that movie on another video, but I like that movie, The Joker. I'm gonna go with the Joker, and I ain't joking. I'm going with the Denver Nuggets. This is a team that has fresh legs. A lot of young parts. They took a step last year. They were very good last year. They were a little bit too young. That's why they couldn't that's why they couldn't beat the Trailblazers last year, because they were young. But there was a lot of good. That game went to Game 7, and they were young. Now they have another year to really know what the playoffs is about, and they're gonna be fine in the regular season. A lot of these Western Conference teams, like the Lakers and the Clippers, they don't care about home court. You know what I'm saying? Because you have LeBron James. You could go on the road. You don't care. You go on the road. You go to Antarctica. You go to Africa. You don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a team that can win on the road. They're not going to be chasing home field, which leaves you with the Nuggets, which have fresh legs. You know what I'm saying? You think about Stephen Curry. He's probably going to be worn out. The Spurs. A lot of their guys is going to be worn out. You know what I'm saying? So, between them and the Jazz, they have a lot of fresh legs. And in the Western Conference, when you got to play defense, because you actually have to play defense in the Western Conference because it's so high scoring, and you're going to have guys that's going to, talent all over the Western Conference. No disrespect to the East, because they have talent over there as well. But the Western Conference is the Wild Wild West for a reason. Fresh legs. Michael Porter, let's not forget about him. He's going to be back on that team, giving them another valuable scoring option. Now, can he stay healthy? That's the question. But you still got Jokic. You still got Jamal Murray. You still got Paul Millsap. Give me the Nuggets at number 1. At number 2, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go with the Clippers. Now, Kawhi might have load management again, because obviously the Raptors showed how you deal with Kawhi. You don't need to play Kawhi too much. Why? Because he's so valuable defensively and offensively. He can lock down your number 1 target and be the target. He can lock down your number 1 option and drop down and give me 25 plus. You know what I'm saying? Or even 30. So he's very valuable. And the Clippers was a team that made the playoffs without him last year. They made the playoffs without the brother last year. So the Raptors is the blueprint of how you deal with Kawhi. You see how Kawhi was gasping for air at times in the playoffs? He wouldn't have been able to survive if he didn't have the load management. And he told you that in the interview. So they're going to have him on load management. Paul George, I believe, is going to be missing a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Give me the Clippers. Lou Williams is still over there. Defensively, Pat Beverly. I mean, this is to me the most complete defensive team in the league to go along with guys that can actually get their own buckets. Give me the Clippers at number 2. At number 3, let me call Mr. King Jong-un, because the brother got a rocket. I'm going with the Rockets, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with the Rockets at number 3. You know what I'm saying? Because, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, it can go a lot of ways, and maybe I have them rank a little bit higher than most people would. But you can go Lakers, Rockets here. I'm gonna go with the Rockets simply because I just believe that and it's a toss-up, because you really putting your faith in if Russell Westbrook and James Harden can play well together. As we all know, they dominate the ball and they have the 2 highest usage rates in the NBA. But I just believe that, they're friends. You know what I'm saying? They're friends. They've been down this road before, even though they were very young. They were babies. Now they're MVPs and former MVPs or whatever. So, it's a whole different era. But they want to play together. They looked okay in the preseason. And there's going to be times where James Harden is going to be on the bench and you got Russell Westbrook. And that's not too bad of a drop-off. And there's going to be times where Harden is on the court by himself. And there's going to be times where they start and finish the game together. I like Gerald Green. His injury, that's a guy that can get his buckets, get 3-pointers. That's probably going to be But you still got Clint Capella over there that took a big leap last couple of seasons. So I like the Rockets. Number 4, I'm going with the Lakers. Like I said, the Lakers, they don't need home court. And that's why I had them pretty low at number 4. Because they know when they got King James, that guess what? The brother can go to any court and win. They're going to be resting King James. Anthony Davis has yet to show me that the brother can stay healthy. All right, he was even hurt last year amidst him not being played because of his request that he wanted to leave. But he hasn't shown me that he can stay healthy, and that worries me because when you take off Anthony Davis, yeah, LeBron James showed you that he can lead a team to the finals without nobody, but this is the Western Conference. This is the Wild Wild West, so it ain't gonna be the same. And to me, the Lakers' chemistry is going to take a long time to get going. I know it's the preseason. They showed a lot, but it's the preseason. It's called the preseason for a reason. Guys are going to have to gel together. Dwight Howard is going to have to finally recognize that he's not a number one. Damn sure even not a number two as well. So, you know, Avery Bradley, I like the fact that Avery Bradley brings defense. Danny Green brings defense. But there's a lot of names on that team and a lot of hungry guys that's going to want to prove that they still belong. I believe it's going to take time for their chemistry. And by the time they get their chemistry, they're going to be a number 4 seed in my list. At number 5, I'm going to go with the I see rows of green, red and blue. You see me, I see you. I'm going to go with the Jazz, ladies and gentlemen. You know the king of jazz, Louis Armstrong? I'm going with the Jazz at number 5. I'm going with the Jazz. I like the way how this team is built. They can very well contest with the Lakers for the 4th seed in my list. I'm going to go with the Lakers over there. But I like the Jazz at number 5. I like Donovan Mitchell. Now he has a point guard that can actually pass the ball. He can shoot. Mike Conley is a real deal. You know, for a lot of years in the NBA, this brother has probably been the most underrated point guard at his position because he just makes everybody better. You know, and in the playoffs, he's going to be very valuable. You have Bogdanovic, a guy that, you know, defensively can get up in your face, be a little pest, and he can shoot threes. You still got Rudy Gobert, who, you know, is a bear in the paint. You know, he's defensively, he'll block your shot. He'll win Defensive Player of the Year in most years in the NBA. So, you know, I like that Jazz team. You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, they still have another step to get to. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be right up there at number 5. At number 6. I'm going to go with the Trailblazers. Damian Dom, CJ McCollum, one of the best backcourts in the league. Right up there. Top 3, you know, right up there. Top 3, top 4, they're right up there because they've been together for so long. CJ McCollum, when Dame struggled at times in that Western Conference Finals, CJ McCollum showed that he can get 40. He can go and get his own buckets. I like CJ McCollum. I like Damian Dime. I believe they're going to have a spectacular year. They have Hassan Whiteside. Watch out for a trade. Watch out for the trade. The Trailblazers was this team in the last couple of years in the season where you thought they was going to make a trade. Maybe they'll make a trade. And probably get Kevin Love or somebody. We'll see. But watch out. They may have a chance to improve that roster. I'm going with the Trailblazers at number 6. At number 7, I'm going to go with the Warriors. Warriors. I'm going with the Warriors at number 7. Now, this is going to be the scariest number 7 team that you will see going into this playoffs. Because I do believe that once the Warriors get into the playoffs, which I had them getting into the playoffs, whether they're number 7, whether they're number 8, they can compete against anybody. All right? They can go on the road and upset anybody. Because, you know, obviously, without the services of Klay Thompson, they're going to struggle, especially defensively. Stephen Curry gets picked on. A lot of guys defensively, they got a lot of young guys defensively. They're going to lose a lot of games because of their defense. But Stephen Curry is going to have an MVP caliber season. D'Angelo Russell, he just went off in the last preseason game. He's going to be fine once he get acclimated to the offense even more. And when Klay Thompson gets back and he gets his legs under him, watch out for this Warriors team because this is a team that can definitely make the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with the Warriors at number 7. At number 8, this is where it's hard for me. This is where I might lose a lot of folks if I haven't already because everybody have their own opinion. I know. We sports fans, we see the game differently at times. But at number 8, you have about 4 teams that can get this spot. And that's why I'm saying this is the Wild Wild West. And I'm trying my hardest and I'm doing my best because this is hard. You have the Kings that have a nice young group. Buddy Hield. You know, you have, they could go on and on. Marvin Bagley. You have De'Aaron Fox, who could be in the candidate as most improved player coming up this season. You have these guys, young, fresh, almost made the playoffs last year. You have them. You have the Mavs with Luka, right? And you have the big fella, Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? KP, you got him. I mean, wow. I like that. I think KP and Doncic is going to play very well together. They're going to play very well together. So you got those two. Got the Pelicans. Zion, obviously, he's going to be out for a couple weeks, but he will be back at some point in the year, and he's going to be a force. We saw in the preseason. We got a little appetizer in the preseason, and I like what I got for the appetizer. I don't even need the meal. You know what I'm saying? To know that this brother's going to be good. You got a lot of guys on the Pelicans that's trying to prove themselves as well, like Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, you know, and then you got the Spurs. I mean, the Spurs always make the playoffs every year. You got Greg Popovich, and Greg Popovich we trust, the best coach in the NBA. This is a tough one for me, and I'm really making this decision on spot because I'm literally going through the motions in my head right now. I can see a case for all of these teams, but I'm gonna just give the edge for right now. And you know what? Since this is my prediction, it's gonna be my, it's my early predictions. I'm gonna go with the Spurs simply because I just can't see Popovich not making the playoffs. He's just so good. You know what I'm saying? That's like Bill Belichick not making the playoffs. You know, they basically went to the playoffs last year without a point guard. So, I give them the edge. They're going to have, the things that they're going to have over these other teams is the playoff experience. You know what I'm saying? The Pelicans are young. They don't know how to win yet. Same thing with the Kings. They're young. They don't know how to win yet. The Spurs have that advantage of having been to the playoffs for how long now? Having won championships. How long now? Even though that's a new group in there. But they still have playoff experience, and it's in that culture. Greg Popovich, they have the coach, obviously, advantage. So I'm going to just give them the slight edge, but I can see a case for any of these teams. Probably the next team out will probably be the Mavs and the Pelicans. It's hard. It's in that mix because the Kings is going to be good. I don't know. It's a Wild Wild West. Prepare for it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my list. Right there. East, Sixers, Bucks, Pacers, Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Magic, Heat, West, Nuggets, Clippers, Rockets, Lakers, Jazz, Trailblazers, Warriors, Spurs, playoff. The East to West. I already made my predictions for who I think is going to win the championship. I'm going to drop it. I filmed the episode on the Real Lil Show, and I actually made those predictions. I'm gonna drop that part along with it, and I also have the other parts where I have my Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, and that sort. You know what I'm saying? But those are this is one video, and I'm uploading it, so definitely like it, subscribe to the channel, share the video with a friend, especially a basketball fan. And this is what we do. Basketball season is back, baby. Basketball season is back, and it starts on Tuesday. And with that being said, I'm out. Because you know what? I got to prepare for that. So you know what? I'm about to clock out this live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure. But guess what? Got to find what's in the treasure. Oh, that was so corny. That was literally so corny. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay me no mind. NBA season starts Tuesday. I'm out. One love.